Hello, I wanted to bring you to one of my favourite places today, which I recently learnt some interesting facts about. Um, this is a lovely little beauty spot on Dartmoor, which is by this bridge you can see behind me called Ruddycleve Bridge. A few years ago I came here with my children to a little area that I'll take you to in a moment, and we had some amazing fairy experiences there, and I took some photos that seem to show lots of different fairy beings in it. So it's definitely a pixie place. What's interesting is, and I didn't know this at the time when I visited, is that the river that runs through here is divided into two, so it has two different names. So this side of the bridge, it's called Black Slade Water. I'll show you the river. And then the other side of the bridge, over there, across the road, it's called Ruddycleve Water. And actually Ruddycleve runs down through one of my favourite woodlands here, which is also an amazing fairy place called Grey Park Woods. So I'm going to take you over there now. There's a car going by and show you the other side, and then I'll take you up into the woods. Yeah, it's such a pretty little place. So here I am on the other side of Ruddycleve Bridge, and this side the river is called Ruddycleve Waters. And I was wondering what the fairy folk of this area would think about that their river that goes through this landscape has two different names. It's split in two by the humans that inhabit this area. So I'm going to take you through to this special little fairy area, and just talk to you a bit more about that. So I'll just turn my camera around. Oops, how do I do that? Right, so go through here, get away from the road. Haven't been here for a while. Let's see, it's very, oh look, there's a dragon's eye. I call those dragon's eyes when you see the trunk of a tree reflected in some water. Whenever I see these, I feel it's a sign from the dragons saying that they're protecting the land here. It's a bit marshy. I haven't got the best boots on. You see this tree that's looking after, it's a willow, looking after this in-between place. So streams and rivers are in between places where we cross from one side to the other. Woo-hoo. I don't know if I should be filming while I do this. Whoop. Okay. So let's take you through. Hello fairies. Now come in. So first thing you see is this amazing old willow tree, and it's growing like a barrier. The land here is quite marshy, so that's why all these willows are growing here. I think of this tree as like a dragon. It's got dragon energy to it. And there are lots of beings living in this tree. I took a picture of my daughter sitting in this tree a few years ago, and I want to see a face up there. Up here's a face. Hello. And yeah, around the other side I could see I can't see him anymore, but a little being up in the tree. And it's definitely one of those places where you have to ask permission to come in, so I don't always feel like I should go into this place. It feels very protected by the fairies. I think this is as far as I will go today. I'm just going to turn the camera and just talk about the naming of places. So intuitively I've felt through the time that I've been working with the fairies, which is in a dedicated way, the last nearly 10 years, and before that a lifetime of some sort of connection with the fairy realm. And on and off I've created artwork of them since I left university actually, in 1995. I've been creating some kind of fairy artwork which has gradually developed over the years. And so what I feel intuitively about fairy places and the naming of places is that fairies have their own names for their places, that if we tune in we can sometimes connect with and find out what they are, but they tend to be sounds because they work with resonance, and so our names for places tend to come from landowners that have, put their ownership onto the land over various times of human history in a certain place. So a lot of the place names we have are linked to people that owned those places at certain times. But the fairies have their own names for places, and I was thinking about the human names for places, how they then connect with the fairy realm, because everything has a resonance, and especially with this river, and I thought, well, that must be causing some kind of divide in the landscape, the fact that we call this river two different names. And wouldn't it be wonderful to know what the fairies call it, and call it that name? So part of my work, big part of my work, is tuning into the landscape and the fairies of that particular place, and finding out what their connection is with the land, and what their, how they view the landscape that they're in, and what they would like the area to be, whether they'd like it to be left alone or for people to work with it. And I wondered why I was drawn here in the first place, and I think that one of the reasons now I know about these two different names of this river, is that the fairies would like some healing for this place. a unification of the two parts of the river. So I would normally do that through some sound healing, or I'm also a qualified Reiki and Brahani healer, which I don't use as a business. I use for myself, and I use it as part of my fairy work. So I feel that today I want to offer that healing to this place. And maybe I'll sing a song as well, just sound out whatever comes to me, whatever flows through me. That's something that you can do with places that might feel a bit, any word I can think of it is a bit dark or a little bit foreboding, is to offer that place some sound healing either through musical instruments or your voice, and perhaps to connect with the land and find if there's a specific sound or name that comes to you that the fairies would like that place to be called. So that's what I'm going to do now. And once I've done that, I will tell you how I got on. So see you in a moment. Oh, wow, that felt really good. Feels like shifted something here. I just sang a little tune that came to me. I'm not a singer, but I did the best I could just to use sound and some positive words to put into this place. And I hummed as well, so I sang the tune that came to me and I hummed it as well. And as I was singing, I could hear the blackbirds singing in the background. You might be able to hear it. So for me, this is part of fairy whispering, this connection with the land, and listening to the landscape, listening to the fairy beings of a place and just hearing what they're saying, and working with the landscape through different ways, through sound, through healing, through creativity, through play, to contribute our positive energy to the place. And what I realised as well is this lovely tree behind me, that light coming through, it's amazing, is also forming a barrier with the road that runs across behind me where I started off, the road bridge. So it's this very protective willow tree, and all its beings is protecting this part of the landscape, creating a barrier to the road, which actually is quite busy for up on Dartmoor. There's been a lot of traffic that's gone through since I've been here. And there's the lovely stream as well, which is also acts as a tween place. So I'm going to say goodbye to the fairies now. I felt compelled to come back here now that I know, because I never knew what it was called. It's had lots of different names. So the river is Ruddy Cleave water this side, and then the other side Black Slave water. Yeah, there's different names for different parts of the landscape here. So I'm going to take you up into the woods now, and talk to you there before I leave. Okay, thank you. See you in a minute. These are the pretty conifer woods on Pudsham Down, which is just on the other side of the river. Let's pass through that. I've never actually walked along this pathway. Just take you to see this fallen tree here. Look at this. Amazing. Glad I wasn't here when this fell over. It's a very pretty wood, very quiet. Definitely full of lots of pixies. Sometimes I've been here and I've looked up to the trees. I've seen like little dark, shadowy figures. You think, oh, there's a little pixie or a gnome watching out from the woods. And then the thing is, because pixies are shapeshifters, you get a bit closer and then you see that it's actually a stump, a tree stump that looks like a pixie with a pointy hat. But I've seen them, I have seen a pixie once that did exactly that. It transformed from a log into a pixie in front of my eyes. And I know I saw it because my mum was with me, and we both saw it at the same time. We both said, oh, there's a pixie. And it just looked like it was sat on the end of this log. And there's a face. Oh, look at that, and a lovely little face there. Huh? Quite often see faces and figures in the light as well, so in the light on trees. Quite interesting, especially in the moss. Such a magical place. Beautiful. So I'll just turn my camera around. Thank you for watching. Please check out my website, and I've got an Instagram page as well that I put at the end and in the comments. Please like and follow, subscribe to my videos. I've got a few more to post over the next few weeks and days, which I hope you'll enjoy. So thank you for watching, and sending lots of love from me and the fairies, and see you all soon. Bye for now.